What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jersey with Moto. It's been a while, I know. Well, I felt it was time to make a video because, believe it or not, I'm coming up on a year of ownership on my 1979 Shovelhead Sarah Jane here. I bought her last year on my birthday, November 22nd. Today, it's November 7th or 8th, so we're coming up on a year, or maybe by the time I get around to editing this and posting it, then maybe it has been a year. But yeah, I've owned Sarah Jane here for a year. For those of you that were following along, when I got the bike, it looked a little different. It did have a Sportster tank on it, but it was a Red King Sportster tank that now lives on my coffee table with some fake flowers in it in my living room. And it had some quirks that had to be worked out. And if you've been watching for that long, you know my friend Slick at Slickhead Custom Cycles helped me make this bike roadworthy for about 3 months over the winter last year. We had it down in his little shop and worked on it together. Well, mostly he worked on it, but I helped out when I could, and I learned some stuff. Did I learn a lot where you could call me a mechanic now? No, absolutely not. I'm not going to lie about that. But thanks to Slick to make this roadworthy. And while we're thanking people, thank you Saddle Tramp too, because he got a lot of phone calls, and Hippie's Chopper Corner was always there with words of encouragement. But anyway, so I've owned this bike a year, and you can go back and watch those videos to see the changes I made. I will say, most of y'all did not like the changes I made in the comments. I mean, yes, I put another Sportster tank on it because the back mounts for the tank were already cut off, so I figured, hell, just cut the front ones off too. I like the Sportster tank, it shows the engine better. Would it have been cool if I went back to split tanks? Yeah, probably. Would have looked more original. It's titled as an FLH. Would it look cool with maybe a different front end, or at least a skinny front tire, or leave this front tire and put wider bars so it flows a little better? Yeah, but you know what? She's been running pretty good. And for the people out there that this is not their cup of tea, you might look at it and say she's a little confused, a little undecided, a little unsure, and maybe a little fucked up. But you know, that you can use that to describe me too. So it's my bike, and she's staying that way, at least for now. Not much money left in the motorcycle budget. What's left in the motorcycle budget? I got to get the front fork seals done on my Sportster. She's spitting fork oil. I actually have to wipe that off because I just took her for a ride. Now, I rode her a lot. Did I go far? No. I mean, so I'll be real. We're going to estimate it. Maybe I put 500 miles on her this year. But I enjoyed every mile. She's fun. She's a little squirrely. She's a little sketchy. But I like it. I've never had an old bike before. This is my first one. She's electric start, but the first one ever with a Kickstarter. It took me a long time. I finally learned how to kick it. I will say though, she doesn't like to start when you kick her. And I don't think that's me, because I got it down pretty good now, but something's going on where she doesn't like to be kicked off. Could be me. I don't know, but I got her to kick a few times. And with the electric start, that's just for, you know, emergencies. If something goes wrong when I'm out and about, I can always push start her if I can't kick her, hopefully. Like I said, I'm not going to go through everything Slick and I did, but I will say the few issues I've had with her over this year was, one I made a video about, I believe, it was the sumping issue. When I went to 60 weight for the summer, for some reason she did not like it. And she always thumped a little bit with the 50 weight, but with 60 weight, she would just puke all over the place. So I talked about it with Slick, because you know he's usually my go-to guy when I have an issue, whether he likes it or not. I always bother him. And he said that that shouldn't have been an issue, but he said if I felt better, switch back to 50 weight. Okay, hang on, Nick from the future here. What I left out, I just noticed when I'm editing this video, is that when I did contact Slick about that sumping problem, he did know what the issue was right away. He said that we'd have to pull the oil pump, get new springs, new check balls, and relap the check ball seats, and that would cure that sumping problem. But since it got better and has now seemed to fix itself when I put the 50 weight back in it, I decided not to do that and just let sleeping dogs lie. Just didn't want to leave that out, that he did have the solution when I contacted him. So, all right, back to Nick from the past sitting in the garage. I switched back to 50 weight, and she barely sumped at all after that. Only if I let her sit for a while. I usually don't let her sit. I use this bike probably twice a week. Now, it seems that somehow the sumping issue has fixed itself, because I started her up right here in the garage today, didn't put anything underneath her, and like the last few weeks, she has not been sumping, which got me a little nervous. I said, maybe I should check the oil. Maybe there's no oil in this bike, but there is. She hasn't burnt a drop in the last few weeks. Like I said, I have been using her. So I can't explain that. She's running pretty solid. About a week or so ago, I didn't film it. I pulled the air cleaner, thinking that I would have like an air cleaner full of oil maybe, like I do on my twin cam sometimes, on the old Lola here. And I have to clean it, but no, it was pretty clean. Plugs were decent. I cleaned them off a little bit. Again, I probably should have filmed that, but I didn't. Pulled the plugs. And knock on wood, let me do it the right way, you know, superstitious Italian. Knock on wood, she's been running good. I've been enjoying her. Actually, I tightened everything up also about a week ago. A few loose bolts here and there, but nothing that was going to go flying. And also, I've noticed that there hasn't been much oil in the lasagna pans. She hasn't been leaking that much. Of course, I have lasagna pans under my Shovelhead to catch the oil. I'm Italian. What else would you expect? Another thing that I was looking at was, so she's always been mushy in the back. So I figured these rear shocks were blown, you know? And I was thinking about over the winter, I was gonna order a new pair of shocks, or maybe even go down to Nick's Custom Cycles and see if he had a pair of shocks that would fit. I was talking to my buddy Joe about it. He's like, dude, they're adjustable. Why don't you make sure that you can adjust them a bit? And that might solve it, at least for now. So I got my cheap Amazon special spanner wrench out today, and I measured them to make sure they were both adjusted the same in the first place, and I gave each of them 2 clicks, and she firmed up a lot, man, and that's awesome. That saves me a bunch of money. That money could go towards getting my Sportster's front end fixed. And yeah, she's good for now. I'm even thinking about ordering up a cheap pair of passenger pegs, throwing those on the back, because the 2-up seat that everyone told me to get rid of, I actually like that. And she's got a back seat, so she might as well have rear passenger pegs. But I gotta say, I'm very happy with this. I was a little overwhelmed when I bought it, because, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a mechanic. I change oil, I could change brake pads. That's what I've done on my other 2 bikes, and some other things. I had to put a brake line on the Sportster. I bled the brakes on the Sportster, not the Road Glide, because it has that stupid ABS on it. But that, you know, you need the program for or whatever. But I've done little things like that, change parts out, but I'm far from a mechanic breaking shit down, diagnosing stuff. I'm not. That's, you know, that's why I'm grateful for Slick for helping me with that. And I'm grateful that this year she's been a pretty solid bike. Even though, you know, she was ridden. She wasn't ridden hard either. I don't beat the shit out of this like I do my other two bikes. But she was a great local bike. And I'm still gonna be riding her. I mean, it's November, but the weather's still good. As for when I'm filming this, it's still good. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with my purchase. And the other funny thing is, here I am saying about, oh, the motorcycle budget doesn't have much money in it and stuff, but every single day I am on Facebook Marketplace trying to see if I come across an Evo Softail for less than $5,000. Now, do I need a fourth bike? I need a fourth bike like I need a goddamn hole in the head. But yeah, it's an addiction. And luckily, all the ones that I found for under $5,000 are in Pennsylvania, and I really don't want to make the trek out there. There's nothing in Jersey. Like a solid looking Evo Softail for under $5,000. I haven't come across it yet. That's probably a good thing because like an idiot, I probably would go buy it and have 4 bikes and have to rearrange this whole garage and leave my commuter car in the driveway, but you never know. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while. I haven't made any videos in a while. I made a bunch of shorts. I've been digging. I should have brought them out here. I got those Ray-Ban Meta glasses that record. And they record only in vertical format, but I have used them in my regular videos. I just have to edit it so it's you know, widescreen, horizontal, whatever you want to say. Landscape, that's what I'm trying to say. But I've been doing a lot of shorts with those because it's just easy to, they take some killer video and you can just, you know, edit it real quick and throw it right up. I'm actually probably going to take a ride on one of these tomorrow morning. I'll probably make a short for that, especially if I take this. A lot of people love to see this bike. I understand, I love to ride this bike. But I think that's all I have to say for right now. As far as changes on this bike, as much as a lot of people say, and you can leave in the comments, I would change this, I would change that. All right, it's cool, I don't care. No, I'm not going to change anything this winter, except maybe throw some passenger pegs on her. I don't know, if I could get somebody to work with to make a sissy bar, I would definitely do that. I'm not hardtailing or I don't have the money. But I would do a sissy bar, tall sissy bar, something that angles back to go the way the bars go and keep it black. That's it. Like I said, wanted to check in. I don't think there's any other things I can. Oh, the Sportster tank that everybody loves to hate. Is it a pain in the ass sometimes? Not because it doesn't hold enough gas, because like I said, I take this local. You can't see it. There's a Road Glide with a 6-gallon tank right there for when I have to really ride. But you know, it's a cheap Sportster tank from Lowbrow, and it's kind of lifted a bit. And yeah, if I fill up too much, all the gas runs out, and I'm riding, wiping it off with a rag, not to ruin my lovely rattle can paint job, which I'm actually pretty proud of. I say it sarcastically, but kind of not. I like what it came out. Fender's gonna stay black for now. I don't feel like taking her apart since everything's working. But anyway, I just wanted to check in and tell you about Sarah Jane here, my year of ownership, my 1979 Shovelhead. She's going to be 46 this year. I'm going to turn 47 soon. Wanted a 78, but I couldn't find it. For some reason, all the 78s I saw were just crappy. So I got a 79. Who cares, right? Still cool. But, alright. So, when you're watching this, it's probably not Thanksgiving yet, or it's right around Thanksgiving, or a few weeks before, hell, I don't know, or it's the day after, don't know. Happy Thanksgiving! Thanks for watching Jersey Nick Moto. I'll see you all in the next one. Keep your head on a swivel out there. See you in the next one. Later. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. Take a look at Sarah Jane.